morning, everyone. It's nice. It's a pleasure to have you on board today with this amazing event, the sales season readiness. Hope you are ready for 1 hour session, because today the title and the content of this event is how to maximize e-commerce sales this single day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Maximise, and beyond. A lot of days. So to start this event, the rules of the engagement. First of all, switch the chat to everyone, please. If you have any question, if you want to comment, you don't want to be shy, you want everyone to know it, so switch the chat to everyone. Secondly, if you can introduce yourself in the chat, please feel free. We really want to know who you are, what company you work for, and where you're based also. And last but not least, and I think it's the most important one, please make our speakers feel welcome. It's always great to have warm, messages when you start talking and answering the question on stage. So for 2 days, we have 3 speakers, amazing speakers, and 3 hosts. The speakers, it will be Sarah, the CEO of Beginning Boutique, Una, the head of e-commerce of Havaianas, and Lani, former e-commerce director of Nourished Life. Thank you, first of all, ladies, to be our speakers today and to be the stars of this event. We have 3 hosts today also. Me as a solution engineer and senior CSM in APAC at Content Square. Kate, the head of APAC Search Spring, I will let her intro also herself. And Michael, the co-founder and strategy director of Yogurt Company. But the agenda today. What is the agenda? First of all, just a few slides of welcome from your 3 hosts, and then we'll start the Q&A. The first Q&A will be with Sarah, the Beginning Boutique, and then with Una, Havaianas, and Lani for MX Nourished Life. At the end, we will keep 5-6 minutes for the Q&A if you had any in the chat. And then at 10 sharp, we will end the session, like we start the session at 9 sharp or 11 at your time, but 9 Singaporean time. So what is Content Square? If you've never heard of it, it's time. Now Content Square is a UX analytics platform. We help and we give all the information to our customers to help them to improve their user experience and the digital experience they're giving to their traffic and to their session. How? Well, we're able to give you Content Square data, really amazing data that helps you to understand how and why your visitors are behaving the way they do on your website. And sometimes you don't expect some of your users doing what they do. It's amazing. So yes, we help all of our customers to do that. And last but not least, we definitely democratize the data to make it accessible to all the digital team and all marketing teams. Like that, they all work together, looking at the same data and make sure that they will give the best experience online to their users. We work with a lot of customers all over the world, more than 800 customers in America, in Europe, in the APAC, in any kind of sectors, in the travel, BFSI, retail, also any kind. Here you will see mainly our main brands in the region, but also in the rest of the world. If you want to see any kind of use cases of these customers, please let us know. We have many on the website also available. I've joined Content Square 4 years ago, guys, and I have to let you know that every year Content Square has a big surprise to announce. And this year, well, last week, it's the latest news. Content Square acquired Hotjar, which is definitely the product insights platform, the leader in the product experience insight platform. And together we make sure that now we give access to data, and we can help any kind of businesses of any sizes to really give the best digital experience to their users. So it's a big news, and we're really, really happy to announce that. And also another news, definitely we have the sales season reports that we just launched this week. Inside you will find a lot of tips and best practices on how to get ready for the sales season. And we have also some nice cases from our customers like Clarence or any other customers in retail. please feel free to type me in the chat to receive it via email. And now I pass it to you, Kate.
That's great. Thank you. Please add me to that ebook as well. At SearchSpring, we are on a mission to give merchandisers superpowers, and we do that by making products easier to find, organize better, personalized product recommendations, and really driving insights to allow retailers to make better decisions, to really drive those conversion rates and grow the average order value. We match our best of breed search and easy to use merchandising solutions with best in class customer success and support. And we're also working with really great brands in region. So if you jump over to the next slide. Since I joined SearchSpring in January, we have been getting a huge amount of traction, and we do that because we're working with merchandisers week in, week out that are telling us that the search bar is returning results that are not relevant, and they're spending a lot of time manually merchandising. Moving across to SearchSpring, we have technology that's doing a lot of that heavy lifting, giving e-commerce teams back time in their weeks. They can really focus on improving those conversions, growing the average order value, and creating best-in-class online shopping experiences that are setting themselves apart. So big shout out. I know we've got lots of our clients online today, and thanks for trusting us and even welcoming a new client. So thank you, Tom, for getting that agreement back just before we jumped on this today. And then lastly, we also have an ebook that is full of tips and tactics to help effortlessly convert motivated shoppers, undecided browsers, and die-hard bargain hunters this peak sales season. So just type me into the chat bot. Let me pass over to Michael.
Hey guys, my name is Michael. I'm one of the co-founders at Yoga Digital. Really excited to be here and to have you guys all on board. Just a quick note about us. Since we founded the agency over 7 years ago, our core tagline has always been a love affair with data, not opinions. It's very much at the heart of everything that we do. And we genuinely believe that data is, in its most distilled form, the voice of your customers. And the more that you can listen to the voice of your customer, the more likely you are to succeed. So if we jump onto the next slide, thank you. So in terms of our capabilities, we are a full service agency and we tackle every part of the conversion funnel. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today, everything from top of funnel to bottom of funnel strategies are things that we do in-house here at Yogurt, all based here in Australia. So whether that be your paid advertising or SEO and content, or whether it's conversion optimization and UX, those are functionalities that we have in-house and that we tie in with a lot of the work that Content Square and SearchSpring offer as well. In terms of the clients that we work with, so in 7 short years, we've covered a lot of ground in a lot of different industries. And that's because we have a methodology that we believe we can apply to any industry, which again is customer first. And when we combine that with the services that we offer and really tackling every part of the conversion funnel, it puts us in a really unique place when it comes to growing and scaling Yogurt's clients. So why have SearchSpring and Content Square and Yogurt combined for this session today? Well, we offer 3 very unique glimpses into who your clients are and optimization opportunities. I guess the 3 parts of the funnel is, first of all, when it comes to optimization, is to first gather the data, then to analyze the data, and then to execute on that. Content Square, especially now with with the acquisition of Hotjar, and congratulations on that, gives you unprecedented access to both quantitative and qualitative data about your customers and how they're behaving on your website. Yoga Digital gives you a team with which to analyze that data and then turn that into an optimization plan to really capitalize on all this information. And then SearchSpring actually allows you to do both, because they both give you access to data and they're also an optimization engine. So between the 3 of us, we're actually able to tackle a significant portion of your optimization strategy. And we're really excited to share some of those insights with you guys today. While Yogurt does not currently have an ebook available for download, We are, however, offering a free 1-hour strategy session. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or jump onto our website. We'd absolutely love to have a chat to you guys leading into sales season and beyond. But for now, I'm going to introduce the first speaker. It's my pleasure to introduce Sarah from Beginning Boutique and passing back over to Kate from SearchSpring.
Great, thank you, Michael. Sarah, welcome. It's great to have you here today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So many amazing retailers in the room. This is so exciting.
Absolutely. So are you already ready for Black Friday and all of the holidays that follow?
I mean, can anyone actually say that they are already ready for Black Friday and all of the holidays that follow? I feel like e-commerce, every time that you say you're ready, you're already just jinxing yourself.
Absolutely. I don't think you can ever be completely ready for a deadline that is rapidly racing up on us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Beginning Boutique story, the journey you've been on and the amazing culture that you've been building?
Yeah, so I started Beginning when I was 21 from the spare bedroom in my mum's house. I was renting a house off of her, and my husband and I were just living there. My husband was a welder at the time, and Beginning Boutique started with 20 designer labels and a mannequin called Gwendolyn and some lights from Bunnings, and me with the deep etch burn tool for all the images. So really rough beginnings. We started on a custom code base and then evolved quite rapidly as our customer was talking to us continuously. We had a real pivotal moment when we did a pop-up store at Southbank in Brisbane and got to know that 18 to 24-year-old customer really deeply. And it was during that time that we were able to pivot into some different offerings, different price points and things like that. And when I say we, I mean me, because it was just me. I always say we, but it was just me. And then from that, we have just constantly taken the learnings that we've gotten from our customer and applied them as fast as we can to the business. So that is 13 years of history in, I reckon, 2 minutes.
Wow, I love it. Such an interesting starting point and a very different operation that you're running today.
Yes, thank God.
So this will be your third Black Friday that has been a focus. How has your approach evolved over the years and how does the team prepare?
Yeah, so the first Black Friday before the world 2019, before the world ended, it was a much different approach because we didn't have to like freak out about deliveries. You know, the logistics was running on time, and that was not even a part of our preparation process. The first Black Friday, Cyber Monday caught us off guard, to be honest. The response from our US customer and even our AU customer was like 200% more than what we were expecting. So from that very first year, we've implemented operations meetings that start very early on and keep on going as we iterate each year. So we've gone from holy crap, what the hell is going on, to already having meetings about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, making sure that we have a real organizational focus on that peak period, that it's not just a promotion, it's actually a real opportunity for us to surprise and delight our customer with having excellent customer service, excellent logistics, excellent product, and an excellent promotion. So that's how it's evolved for us over the last few years.
Wow, and it's not just Black Friday and Cyber Monday, is it? The holidays then roll out into the rest of the year?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, November is like click frenzy, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then you kick off all of December. I guess like how that's changed as well as we've seen a real shift in sales forecasting for November and December. And we understand that there are key takeouts in December and key wins in December, but it also really depends on what Australia Post thinks they're going to do this year too, which is a major impact on the performance of December.
Absolutely. We're already at peak shipping levels and we haven't reached our peak selling season.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the biggest learnings you and the team have realized in maximizing sales during the peaks?
Yeah, so during a peak, one of the reasons that Search Spring is actually going to be really phenomenal for us for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, is that we re-merchandise our pages based on sell-throughs of products pretty consistently during that period. So we are watching for sales on products and we are re-merchandising the page to either lift them up or if they've sold out, remove them. So that's a pretty big win for us that we are always doing during big sales periods. The other thing is just to make sure you've got enough stock. I think that that's a really key issue. All of us wish we had that crystal ball for like the best sellers and the dogs and just, ultimately, but unfortunately that's not possible. So I think that's probably the really big takeouts for us that we do in period, like in promotion.
Yeah, so looking for technology to do more of their heavy lifting to support the team whilst it's busy. How important then is that tech stack and the e-commerce partners that you are working with in maximizing sales and conversions?
Yeah, so we are on Shopify, and before we were on Shopify, I used to at night wake up and think, what has the cart gone down? Like, are the sales like this because the cart's gone down? And I could not continue to live my life that way. It was not good for my stress levels. So moving to Shopify has definitely supported us. Like, yeah, it's not like the perfect platform, but it's pretty close. And I think it really just allows you to be a merchant rather than trying to be a tech company, which I think is a key part of the puzzle for everyone. Search Spring, we desperately needed filters, and the filtering plus the search option, it was really strong for us. So that was a key part of that decision. So when we are in peak period, she can filter by her size and just see what she is in stock in her size. And that's so important. The other thing that we've implemented is PeopleVox, and they are a great warehouse management system, and they have made our lives a lot easier. So we were able to go from ticking off pieces of paper to fully automated, and we didn't die in the process. It was actually a really smooth changeover. Actually, all of those softwares had a very smooth changeover, which was great.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I'm hearing a theme. How can we make the team's life easier so they can focus on growing sales and growing the business? Now, I know you run a really slick operation. Is there anything you're going to be doing differently this year?
Yeah, so we've just launched our app, and that offers us a lot of very cool new opportunities. We have an SMS club that's running. We have something else up our sleeve, which will be launching soon. I don't want to steal the marketing team's thunder, but we take notes every year, and then we read our notes and just iterate slightly. So we're not going to throw everything in the bin and start again each year. We will be iterating on each thing that worked and lifting that to the next level. So that's sort of how we run at BB, and it makes it an easier way to constantly improve and measure that improvement as well.
Yeah, I like that. So evolving on what already works and taking those lessons of things that may not have gone so smoothly, and learning from them and applying them. So it's really great. We always, at any point in time, have some great opportunities in our pipeline, and we were so excited with Beginning Boutique. We love the story. We love how fast you're growing, and I don't feel like it's going to slow down anytime soon. Now, we had a really good attendee question that I wanted to pose to you. There's a lot of noise to contend with during these sales days in the market. How do you stand out in a crowded market?
Honestly, it is all about content. I think when I think about the crowded market, I'm thinking about social media channels. That's where my brain goes straight away. And I think if you are exactly what your customer wants at exactly the right time, that is the best way to stand out. Again, it's that crystal ball, but like, how can you make sure that what you're doing is so in line with what she wants that she can't ignore you, and or he, or whoever your customer is. I think that's the key to standing out.
Yeah, I really like that. So how do you get into that headspace of your customer?
I bang on about her all day, every day. So I think I annoy the crap out of my team. No, I think our whole team is really into it as well. I think the thing is that everyone wants to succeed, and the most successful position we can be in is when we are connected to our customers. So, we've got reviews, we've got emails, we've got comments on social media, we have text messages. There's so much data, and it's just a matter of making sure that the lines of communication are super clear. So we have channels in our Slack that people can give feedback on. We just try to make sure that everyone knows that there is no stupid question or no stupid thing to go in. Like, everyone wants to know as much as we possibly can, and that really does pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that connection with your audience is so important. And I know a lot of businesses that we talk to are looking at how can we start to bring that in-store experience onto the website and have more of that connection online as well as the traditional kind of in-store experience. Now, we've spoken a little bit about, it started with just you, and I know you've built an amazing team and something that you're really passionate and proud of. How has it been coping with so much uncertainty and so much change over the last 18 months as we go towards what is tipped to be, I guess, another peak season like no other?
Yeah, I think for me, when you ask that question, I'm jumping straight to the well-being of my team. That's been something that our theme for our HR has been health is wealth this year. And because last year was so much, there's no other way to describe it. There were so many peaks and so many lows. And for me, we've just been focusing on the well-being of the team through all of the different programs that we run internally. So we have our Are You OK Day tomorrow. Something I'm really proud about is our commitment to charity, but also one of the initiatives that our people and culture coordinator came up with is we're going to have little care cards for our team on dealing with anxiety and pressure. And then as well, we've got some puppies coming into each office, which is a surprise the teams don't know about, but each office will have puppies for half an hour, just have a play and a pat. And I think just doing fun things like that to show the team that we care so much about them, hopefully enables them to feel a little bit less stressed and overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think more than ever, right, that is going to be critical, particularly for those running teams right now, where we have been in those extended lockdowns. We haven't been able to get our hair done. And I really love...
fantastic, don't worry.
Thank you, you're too kind. And I think also looking at those little things that you can do to really put a smile on their faces. Most people that have been on calls with me have met my dog who likes to pop up. I did get him out for a quick run before jumping on here, so he's snoozing under the table at the moment. So what is one of the key things that you're going to do to celebrate once we get through peak season with the team?
Yeah, that is a good one. We've got a couple of things up our sleeve. Obviously, we want to do Christmas party, but that's in December. Last year, it got postponed to March because of the lockdown that happened in Brisbane in January. So we were originally doing December, but we have a team in Melbourne and they couldn't get here. So then it got moved to January and then it got moved to March. So hopefully we will continue to celebrate. I think actually the learning for me is celebrating the journey. So celebrating every day. There are wins that happen every day. And I think we just have to make sure that we are constantly celebrating so that it doesn't become Groundhog Day.
Absolutely. I really can relate and connect to that as well. Sarah, thank you so much. We are going to come back to you at the end and get those last minute tips as a panel, but really appreciate you sharing those insights and learnings. I know from all the interactions we've had with you and the team that I have no doubt that you're going to be continuing to raise the bar, and we'll definitely be cheering you on. Let me pass over to our next speaker.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you very much. And Una is joining also. I just want to say before, Sarah, I also want to copy at my office. So I'm going to talk to my office manager about that. It's a brilliant idea, I think. But here I'm here to talk and to speak with Una. Hello, Una, how are you?
Very well, how are you?
I'm good, I'm pretty good. I'm really happy to have you today. We work together, right? Because I'm your customer success manager at Content Square. I could present yourself, but I think it's better if you do present yourself and also a small intro about Havaianas and your role at Havaianas.
Great, thanks so much. My name is Una Kwang-Menges. I'm head of e-commerce for APAC for Havaianas, the Brazilian flip-flops designed for free life since 1962. If you're based in Australia, you probably have a pair. We sell about 8 pairs a second globally. So we're big. But we're at a different point in our journey in different markets. We're really established in the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, and we're growing across Southeast Asia and North Asia. So go to havaianas.com and be sure to buy a pair after this call. We appreciate your business.
I have to say, I have one pair, really nice, really. Okay, thank you very much, Una. And so straight to that topic, really. First question is, okay, how did Havaianas perform last year compared to the previous peak season? And also, what were your biggest learnings there?
Sure. Last year was, I think, really a completely crazy year for us. I've been with the business for 2.5 years. 2019, we started onboarding to marketplace, and then last year I think we really kicked up our digital acceleration. We launched 5 transactional brand.coms in December, taking us from 4 to 9. So for the majority of the year, our focus was really on marketplace growth. And for this year, it's adding the e-commerce, the brand.com side into our whole strategy. We also, I think, were really focused on moving our investments around. I think last year took everyone by surprise. And so around May, June, we had to reassess our budgets, what we thought we were going to do, and shift our focus. Because for us as an originally predominantly retail business, we were really focused on trying to move that business online because we're in lockdowns in almost every market.
It's quite complicated. Okay.
Sorry.
No worries.
So I think that like our learnings from last year really, first off, to plan ahead. I like to be at least 80% planned for every channel, for everything that we do, which means that when things actually happen, you still have time to address and change your strategy in real time. And I think specifically for e-commerce and for marketplace, there are a lot of real-time changes and opportunities you need to grab. And if you're still busy trying to do the basics, you just don't have time for it. I think that it's particularly hard as well for APAC because we have less downtime. We're less driven just by Black Friday, Christmas. We have Southeast Asia, we're active pretty much year round. So even trying to find those moments of quiet to plan go lives is increasingly hard. We definitely work on building synergy between our channels. This can be organic versus paid media, social versus e-com, on-site versus off-site marketing, marketplace versus brand.com. Just overall, it's really important for us to drive consistency in our content, making sure we have the right product in stock in the right places, that we have consistency in our promotions, and we're well organized in our planning and our merchandising around that. that we're grabbing new marketing opportunities. And then one of, I think, our biggest learnings was really defining our channel strategy, where we want to be, what does our storefront look like, whether it's on Marketplace, whether it's on brand.com, and there's increasing number, I think, of online opportunities in the different markets and different channels.
This is really wide.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. Go ahead.
Oh, and then lastly, I think it's looking for new opportunities. I think that everything's constantly evolving, so there's new opportunities. For example, for Shopee, they've been around for 5 years. We've been on them for 2 years. They're constantly changing what marketing and advertising opportunities they have. And so one of the advice that we gave to everybody was to make sure they have someone logging in every day to take advantage of their educational portals, and to sign up and to try new things.
This is really huge. This is and for that case, so this is a wide market, right? You have here. So what tech tools do you use really to optimize the online experience for the sales season in particular?
Sure. We're using Content Square, which I'm really excited about this year. It's really given us a chance to kind of level up our analysis. We had a pivot in our brand.com strategy last November, and we switched to Shopify, which I think has been very great for us because it's a really agile solution, which helped us get out 5 sites at the end of the year. We had 2 more launched this year, and then we have 2 more in the works. I think it's a really good e-commerce solution and I think the Plus solution fits a lot of different size businesses. I was really excited to hear about the acquisition of Heartjar by Content Square. We actually use it in some of the markets, and I've also used it with, I think, every other role that I've been with. So I really like it. It's super easy to use, and everyone who tries it also thinks it's quite easy for heat mapping. One of my favorite things is the session replay. I think that as an e-commerce professional, especially when you launch your own websites, you tend to have what I would say is site blindness, where you can't see the problems because you probably put them there yourself, or you're just so used to the experience that it's hard to take a step away. It's like having a bad child. And session replay, I think, gives you an opportunity to look at things with fresh eyes, and to see where those problems are, whether this is just bug fixing or just people struggling with UX. We also partner with Google Optimize, with Google 360. I think Optimize is a great free solution as well for businesses to split test things that they learn from, for example, for Content Square on site. So split testing content, etc. This is cool. And then lastly, and I think that sometimes companies tend to overlook this, is just the end-to-end cycle. Inventory management, the digital ecosystem, omni-channel, last mile, these are really, really critical. Last year, we also onboarded another solution called Enchanto, which is kind of like a lightweight OMS, and it plugs into the marketplaces and into our brand.com, so we can have a single inventory. And this has resolved a lot of problems that we had previously, where we were, I think, trading the channels more independently, and it's brought it all together and was super easy to use. So super happy with that.
Really ready for the peak sales season indeed with all these tools, I'm sure. And so you were mentioning earlier, you were talking about the tests. So what sort of optimization or tests are you running prior to sales season, really to help prepare your website? And one question I always have to my customers is, how do you prioritize them?
Sure. For our e-commerce, we really have what we must have, what would be nice to have, what we could have, and then for me specifically, I have what we will not have this year, but maybe next year. It's never a no, it's maybe later. For e-commerce, I don't think that you're ever looking to get anything perfect. I don't want to take on board any projects that are going to lock you up full-time for 1 year, because you're missing so many opportunities to be agile in between. We're really trying to focus on those things that can improve conversion, and fix any major bugs and blockers. But there's some specific optimizations with our sites, and our sites are relatively new that we're working on. So I think reviewing our mega menu and our navigation, specifically around our categories. We really only have one product, which is flip-flops, but how we slice that up to make it easier for the consumer, like whether this is men's, women's, unisex, kids, adult, around collections, around color. We have a lot of questions, and so we're really focusing on figuring out what the best way for us to cut up and present the catalog is. We're working on optimizing our PLP, making sure we have the right balance of it being easy to use and pushing the customers through as fast as possible, but with also providing, I think, enriching content about us as a brand, and making sure we have the right lifestyle and content balance for the products. We've been doing a lot of work around size guide. Our products are Brazilian size. If I had to guess, nobody here knows what the Brazilian size is, which is a little bit tricky. And so we're trying to make sure that we're making it clear on all the different touch points in the user journey to help people find their size. And then lastly, we're also working on optimizing our landing pages for our acquisition. So making sure that all of our channels and our ads are landing on the right page and what this page looks like. Does it have, do we need additional banners? Do we need additional content on there? Because we want to end improve our conversion from maybe some of our more top of funnel traffic.
Well, I'm looking forward to working with you on all these analyses and results and etc. And cool, thank you. And what on-site tactics do you use to really increase the average order value during the peak sale season, on the peak sale days, let's say?
On site, we really try and be very customer centric. And I think offering best in class for like free shipping, making sure you have live chatbot. We've done a lot of, we just added live chat to all of our channels. And I think this is a great opportunity to engage with the audience, to upsell them and make sure they convert. We are working on some projects around search optimization. We have product recommendations. We're doing more work around on-site merchandising. And then also going back to our product catalog with just having flip-flops, we're also working on offering bundle offers. We don't have, we can't offer full book, can't offer like eyes, lips, face as a set, but what we do have is, for example, products for kids, babies, and adults, and then you can have the matching styles for the whole family, and we'll offer that as a bundle with a discount. Or if you want to buy in multiple colors, match multiple outfits, this is a very Brazilian thing, making sure you have a color of Havaianas for every outfit that you own. Or buying multiple pairs for a special event, whether this is like rugby or bridal shower. And just trying to be creative with your specific category because everyone's product mix looks a little bit different. We're all flip-flops or flip-flops and sandals and a couple accessories. So when you're looking to upsell something that people might just be coming for one product, you have to just be more creative.
Oh, nice. And so how early do you start doing all these bundle offers? Are you promoting your online sales for the major shopping days in that case?
So we actually start promoting up to 30 days in advance for specific campaigns and specific markets. This is to tease and build hype and to encourage people to add the products that they want to their cart or wish list. So when the sales drop, and in some of our markets, the sales drop at midnight, people are ready to just check out. So this is very, very good. And this plays into our promotional strategy. And this is one of the things we really stress, we're a premium brand. We're just not on sale all the time. So even though we're teasing, this product isn't on sale. It's about building hype for something that people know is coming and making sure that when it comes, they're reminded and can just do that final step.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, Una. We're running out of time, so that was my last question. Really insightful. I will now pass it over to the next speaker. And while I'm passing over to the next speaker, I just want to say also in the chat, please feel free also to introduce yourself because everybody has the same name. It's Alice. So it's not easy for us to know who you are. Feel free to intro yourself and also connect to Una because she was amazing. Thank you, Una, and have a lovely day.
Thank you so
Over
much,
to
Matilda.
you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sarah.
Over to you, Lenny.
Thanks, guys. Lani, lovely to have you
Hello.
on the show. Now,
Lucky last.
you've recently moved roles, and I believe it was only announced on LinkedIn a day or two ago. Do you want to do like a quick announcement to the 148 people on our call today as to where you are now?
Sure. So I have joined an emerging wellness destination. We're positioned in beauty, holistic experiences, and personal development, and it's called UTime. It's going to be very much a curated offering of content, products, services, all designed to help enhance your you time, as the name suggests. So I'm very excited to join alongside our founder, and we are very busy hiring all our staff. So you will see lots of job ads go up from us.
Well, given everything that's been happening in the pandemic, you time sounds like a really great time to be launching this kind of a business.
Yeah, it is.
So today we want to lean a little bit on your experience at Nourish Life, Heritage Brands, Total Beauty Network. A lot of time spent in kind of beauty and retail. The first question that I have for you is more around top of funnel strategy than bottom of funnel strategy when it comes to peak season. It's obviously a super competitive time of year. So how do you drive acquisition in a highly competitive vertical at the most competitive time of the year?
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think it's just a real race to the bottom on price when you look at top of funnel in this time of year, particularly working in a retail environment where we sold a lot of products that other retailers were selling. I think talking outside of price, because that just becomes a hygiene factor. Getting customers buying in on quick shipping or loyalty or other things that they may not know about you yet. But to be honest, I don't really think it's a time to go after a huge amount of new customers. It's really just going to attract customers that are super promo driven. You're not really going to get many loyal customers. There are going to be outliers where you give someone an amazing experience and they stay with you, but that isn't super common. I think also, with changes to first party data and everyone talking about all these things, I think we do need to think about using that first party data to identify potential profitable segments based on lookalikes. And I think targeting top of funnel using that data can really help to be a bit more clear on who you're going after and not, kind of eating into your profitability too much. But it isn't a time of year you're going to attract the best customers, I would say.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting that you kind of spoke about loyalty. How do you feel about the statement there's no loyalty during sales season?
I think it's really hard to attract a loyal customer, and I think customers jump across. However, I think there is a way to retain existing loyal customers at that time.
Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, what role do you feel CRM and personalization plays when building your top of funnel strategy for sales period, whether that be kind of new or existing customers?
Yes, I think like I touched on a little bit in using your first party data to identify lookalike segments. But I think when you're thinking about your existing first party data, sales season doesn't start at Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So if you think about Singles Day, Click Frenzy, which I think they might overlap this year, and then Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then you move into Christmas and there's a million different days to celebrate. But I think, really drip feeding that messaging, really targeted and personalized based on the customer data you do have. So you really need to think about, what you're sending to each segment, at what time, in what sequence. I think it's a time to really utilize your loyalty program. And this is how you can try and retain loyalty. So I think, your competitors might be offering the same price or slightly better, but your ticket to play with your customers might be something they can't offer. So whether that's extra loyalty points or whether that's a benefit for them to come and redeem in the future, that's worked really well for us. I think that we at Nourish Life used our CRM really well in kind of doing price drop emails and web push notifications as well on site. So grabbing those customers that maybe were interested in a product that's now on sale or have kind of very warm leads that you can then just tip over. It's going to be a lot more affordable than trying to go after a completely cold customer. So I think that's where we really used our CRM and personalization to make sure we were talking to people at the right time about the right thing, I guess, all up.
So something interesting that Una said was, what Havaianas do around launching kind of like almost teaser campaigns. Is that something that you guys looked at as well at Nourish Life to kind of build that database and build that engagement before kind of peak sales season really kicks off?
Interesting. One thing that we did that reminds me, that seemed to work really well with countdowns. And even within our Google ads, the countdowns worked really well across, something coming and counting down to a big offer. And we continued to do that. And I hope the team's continuing this year, if anyone's listening, and I hope you're all prepared. But yeah, I think teasing and when I talk about, I guess, CRM and personalization, it's not something you can just flick a switch just before sales season and start. It took us, a good 12 months to get the right amount of data, to ask the right questions, to track the right things. I mean, it's a process and it's a full-time responsibility for someone as well.
Okay, so that's a little bit more top of funnel. If we take a second to talk about the bottom of funnel approach, you mentioned that it's a race to the bottom on price. So if you happen to be a retailer where you don't have enormous margins to play with, how else can you be getting people across the line during sales season? What else is kind of in the arsenal?
Yeah, I think, well, look, the pandemic has actually led to global supply chain issues and product shortages, which kind of lends itself to a bit of scarcity tactics. And, I say that from whether you're telling people how many other people are viewing the product or how many people have bought it or you're low in stock, X amount left. One of my friends in the industry was talking about holding back product for each event. We didn't do it at Nourish Life, but if you have the capacity to do that as a business, people will start to think you've run out of these high demand items, and then you start to train them that the product may run out before the offer expires. So it gets them over that line and makes them not think to wait too much longer. I think people are also really worried about getting things on time. And Sarah mentioned it about Australia Post. I mean, we're all at the mercy of Australia Post, and that's definitely something that customers are going to be looking for this year more than ever, is the reassurance that they're going to get their item on time. So aside from price, definitely different messaging around, guarantees on delivery or being able to choose when they're going to get it delivered or express post. That sort of reassurance is going to go far. And again, using your loyalty program, I can't speak enough about that. One other thing we did at Nourish Life, I guess at that pointy end, and that's leaning again into our CRM, was on-site personalization using the data we knew. So for example, if a customer was on your site and they had a birthday gift already assigned to them, or whether they were part of a win-back campaign, reminding them right there as they're looking at a product or they're navigating your site, not just relying on email communication or SMS communication, being at the right moment as well, reminding them of their benefits. That definitely worked for us.
What did you guys use for your personalization engine?
Emarsys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's a beast. And as I said, you need someone full-time on it, I have to say. But it was really good. But there are lots of other personalization and CRMs out there that are doing a great job as well.
Cool. So I was part of an interesting discussion around delivery with Australia Post, and someone suggested that retailers should look at having multiple delivery options rather than just kind of relying on one, and almost having like a fallback or a plan B. Is that something that you guys had in the past, or is that something that you would just recommend going forward?
Interestingly, look, we were highly reliant on Australia Post, and we definitely got burned right back at the beginning of the pandemic when Australia Post really couldn't keep up. We were in many conversations with other providers to have fallbacks. It is definitely a good thing to have. It can create complexity in your business, and definitely from an operations perspective, there was a bit of pushback in our business, but there are definitely third parties like Ship It and other models that can really help in that space. Definitely something I'll be doing in my new role is ensuring we have multiple shipping partners to not be so reliant on Australia Post.
And so in terms of, on-site optimization and A/B testing, we've worked with you for a fair number of years now on that front across a few different businesses. What are the types of website optimizations that you would recommend for brands to look into and start testing pre-sales season?
Yeah, so I think pre-sales season, we did a lot of testing around the actual offers. So it's a bit different to kind of specific on-site, but that was a big thing for us. We would really concentrate at leading into sales season around our checkout. It's obviously the most important part of the funnel at that time when you've got a lot of traffic coming on and checking out all at once. Prior to that, we did a lot of testing with you guys around navigation and filtering. We had a really big catalog, about 8,000 products. So when we did our audit with yogurt, that's definitely what came through. So we spent a lot of time understanding how to improve, helping customers find what they're looking for. But at sale time, they're probably not on such a discovery journey. They're looking at what's their top, best discount or whatever's not usually on sale. And we used Search Spring as well in that way, and to show us kind of more merchandising tips, what was underexposed, what was overexposed, what would perform well, being able to remove products really quickly and in an automated way as they sold out. That definitely came into play at sale time. But I'd say don't do A/B testing at peak sale time. It's way too risky. You've got to be ready well before, and tests can take a while. So you really need to have your plan set a good, 6 to 12 months out.
So I think there'll probably be a fairly wide range in terms of the people who've joined us today in terms of where they're at in their website optimization journey. Some will have active pro programs, others will be, just starting something like that. What qualitative and quantitative data sources do you usually look at in order to decide on what your optimization strategy will be and kind of where you want to take that journey?
Look, I have to say I'm pretty creepy and I love watching recordings. I think it gives heaps of insight, and exciting that Content Square has just bought Hotjar, because I've used Hotjar a lot. Obviously, I don't have a huge amount of time to do this, so I really rely on our partners to do it in bulk. For the qualitative side, we really rely on partners with customer interviews. I love hearing customer insights and also watching their recordings. So that's like one-on-one interviews, as well as surveys that get sent out with, in-depth questions. Some quantitative you can probably get in-house with Google Analytics. I still, in all my roles have relied on experts in this space. But, I really hope to work with Content Square because I think your demo is really impressive. But yeah, I definitely relied on Hotjar. I have used Optimizely. It's quite expensive these days, or VWO. And I think it was already mentioned, Google does have a basic A/B testing capability. But for me, I like the qualitative side, even though, heat maps and things like that are interesting. They're kind of the same across most sites I've managed in my career.
Interesting. So sales season is all about the dollars. That's kind of the KPI for a lot of retailers at that time with promotions. But A/B testing, there are benefits to a test beyond just how much additional revenue did it drive. So when you guys are building an optimization strategy, what are the measures of success that you guys usually look at beyond just revenue uplift?
Look, of course, it's a big part of being revenue uplift, but for us, it's about, looking at other things. Like, so if we could see people falling off on particular pages or not you know, moving on to the next section of the site we wanted them to. That's a big part of it as well. How we acquire their data, whether they're signing up, whether they're reading our content. There's so much more to it than just a conversion. You know, there was a lot of insight for us on particular behaviors then resulting in higher average order value. You know, even the way somebody interacts on your site and how that relates to their lifetime value, it can't just be based on a one-time transaction. But for me, it was a big part of it at the time, was about understanding the link between content and future checkout. So to me, it was about, you know, what does somebody need to do on the site? How can we improve our blogs and our content pages to drive purchase, whether that's at that moment or in the future? And usually it was in the future. That was a big part for us.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lani. Really appreciate you you sharing your insights. I'll invite Una and Sarah to quickly jump back on because we've got a final question to ask you guys. Una, I think you're still on mute. Hello. So guys, thank you again for joining us, and we really appreciate the generosity of your insights and sharing your knowledge. The final question that we have for all of you guys is, if you had to distill everything down into your top piece of advice for online retailers as they prepare for this year's sales season, what would be the one thing that you would say, like, this is the thing, go for it?
Oh, I can go first. Sorry.
Yep. Go.
Everyone's like, I want to go first. So I think for us, as the late great Gigi Devane from RuPaul's Drag Race said, I don't get ready, I stay ready. And so I think we're just trying to just prepare as much as possible. And I think our baseline for year round is planning. It's not sleeping during the off season. So stay prepared, people.
Awesome. Thank you.
I would say I've seen a lot of retailers have the same offer across the peak days, and that's something I would try and steer away from. So I would say different offers across the different peak days, like Singles Day, Click Frenzy, and then Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and do your research in the prior months of what types of offers are going to resonate. There's lots of other times of year to trial. This isn't a time of year to trial a new type of promotion. Use one that you know has worked well, but don't keep repeating it, is my definitely my learning and my recommendation.
And for me, I think like it would just be getting every team to have a BFCM plan. So when I'm joking about not being prepared, we literally have months of lead up meetings. And I think that, you know, you just need to make sure that every head of in your team has a BFCM meeting and they're constantly talking about it as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Again, thank you to all the speakers for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for everyone who's attended, for sharing your time with us and joining us on a Wednesday morning. We really, really appreciate it. We're kind of all in this together. Just for you guys to know, this session was recorded, so we'll be sharing the session with you guys sometime tomorrow, so you guys can rewatch it, and hopefully you got some great ideas to come back with to your team. But for now, thank you again, and have a really lovely week. We hope to see you in an event in the near future. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.